Hey everyone, Jim and Chris back with another important episode. This is a subject that really has a huge hold on the real estate market in general. I'll never forget June of 2022 because you and I just saw all of a sudden this surprise hockey stick, and not a good hockey stick, of interest rates starting to go and go and go and go. And you have markers, right? And I remember you and I kept saying, well, I mean, you know, like if rates reach 8%, I don't know what's going to happen. And they reached 8%. The reason I tell you all this is we're always trying to find new ways to improve our build-to-rent venture for us, for our clients. And so we're always trying to solve problems. And right now, what we are told is we don't have a real estate problem, we have an interest rate problem. It's that quick rise in interest rates that really makes or breaks the initial stabilization and takeoff phase of a real estate investment. And Chris, you've talked about this before. The Fed has a history of doing this, do they not? I mean, you know.
They always take it too far.
And what happens every time after they take it too far?
And they take it too far the other direction.
It just sounds kind of government-like, right? So what we found is we can hedge the market. We can create the solution before the next phase of the game. And let me tell you the concern that Chris and I have had. We right now have an in-house financing program, which we're going to get into. And the reason we brought this up is we have a job, and that's to get you guys cash flow off the bat. That's not easy in high growth markets in Florida. That's not easy with new construction, but we know it's doable, and we're doing that. And the big advantage that does here is what they're all saying, and we've had lots of conversations on this. Once the rates start to trail down, as Chris can show you one of his charts where the Fed just, man, do they have this 100-year history of doing this. Once those rates start to tread down, every expert agrees that pricing is going to get pressed upwards because our inventory levels, unlike 2007 or 8 when that last big correction happened, are nowhere near that. We still have low inventory levels. The banks aren't loaning really well to as many builders out there. You know, we're in a very lucky position that we're still building continually. But with that low inventory, when rates start to press down, pricing is going to go up. And we know that we can help get a jump where our clients don't have to wait. How did you come up with the in-house financing program? I mean, we're not just in the building business or renting business, we're in the money buying business
Absolutely.
now, basically.
We figured out that that was our biggest problem, and we went to solve it. And there's conferences out there that you can go to try and find different lending sources. And through one of these conferences, we found out about this Builder Forward Commitment Program.
Explain that, though, because that's kind of like, how does that work?
Sure. So you take, because we do so much volume, we're able to actually go and buy an interest rate. So we're able to buy a chunk of money and say, okay, we want $10 million at 4% interest, 4.25% interest, 4.75% interest.
Yeah, somewhere in the fours. Yep.
Whatever the rate is. And so we were able to go buy that option on that money, and it's truly an option. So we have to pay, we have to pay for the option to get it at that rate, and then from that point we're actually able to take that money and give it to our clients. So we've now somebody buys a $500,000 duplex. Okay, we no longer have $10 million worth of 4.5% money. We have $9,500,000 worth of
it gets slated.
It gets slated. It gets slated to that individual client, and so we have to go out and determine how much volume do we think that we're going to have during a certain time period, because this option expires. We only have a certain amount of time to use that money, and if we don't use that money, then our option premium goes away.
Yeah. So it's an important part of correcting the issue, but it also puts us on the responsibility of it, which is nice because a lot of you, if you went in and said, well, I like the sound of 4.75, if you go into your mortgage bank, and I encourage you to try this, I'm buying a duplex, I want 4.75, they're probably going to say, well, we could do that for you, but you're going to have to pay 10 points up front.
Or more. Probably more.
Very expensive. And the fact that, again, just like we get a certain amount of better pricing because we buy, tons of shingles for hundreds of houses all at once, better than if you just went to Home Depot, we get a little better pricing on the money. Still costs us a lot, but definitely better than what would be able to be done for you. So we know, again, people always said to Chris and I, and it started, oh, I wish I had, was able to lock in on an interest rate, before June of 2022. Well, we've kind of gotten the DeLorean and gone back in time now. And it's not easy, it's expensive, but it's worth it. And a big question that I've gotten reached, because a lot of you have reached out on this program, a lot of you are using this program, and it really is keeping us at a very high level of sales, which, I know a lot of you have been reaching out on, is well, how do you afford to do this? I think the price is being passed along to us. You guys are saying you're paying for it, but we're paying for it. Here's how it works. We're a low margin builder. We've always been a low margin builder, and appraisals only allow us to charge up to market value, which we're always very clear is our goal, to charge you market value today, new construction, with all the things in place to get you the right investment. We're just taking a lower margin. And do you want to explain? A lot of people say, well, how can you take such a low margin if you're not? I understand now you can't go over the appraisal, it's expensive money. We're able to take a low margin because of the partnerships we've now created.
That's absolutely right. So, as most of you probably are aware by now, about a year ago, we were acquired by Sumitomo Forestry. And as a result, we have been able to achieve some lower building costs as it relates to some larger national and international programs. Sumitomo Forestry is a very vertically integrated company, owning cabinet manufacturers, flooring manufacturers, all the way through the home building process. So, we've been able to utilize some of, those savings, to keep our prices down and to afford to pay for some of these, these rate buy downs. We've also, taken a lower margin. So, our margin has been compressed this year as a result of these, because we're not able to, get our build cost down enough to totally overcome that. But also, we treat our lenders like we treat any other vendor at this point in time. We bid it weekly. So every week we go out and we've found now multiple sources for this particular program, and they now know it's a competitive bid, which again, because of the volume that we do, enables us to get a lower rate than most other builders that are out there.
Yeah, and with that partnership of Sumitomo is 331 years old. I mean, stop and think about that. I didn't even believe you when you first told me. I had to look it up.
The company is older than our country.
Yes,
Yeah.
So it is older than our country, and it's very interesting. It's been a big lesson for me. I haven't gone to Japan with Chris yet, but Chris has gone over a few times, and he keeps coming back to me and saying, you have no idea how short-sighted we are. And it's been a big lesson for us, where they don't look at the next 90 days, where a lot of builders who might be with U.S. banks or under certain obligations, they have to look at the next quarter. Sumitomo has been able to say to us, we want to look at the next 7 to 10 years. And that's where their analysts are going. That's where they're looking. And I can't tell you, for not only you, our clients, where they're not trying to squeeze everything just out of one property, but long-term, not only with our client relationships, but our abilities, and saying, we will make up in time and volume. And it's obviously worked if you're still lasting for 331 years. And that's something that we're excited about, because we're able to pass that along to you guys, look longer term, take lower margins, and continue to build portfolios and grow our build-to-rent business in just that way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be able to continue to offer this. Again, like Chris said, it is part of our weekly bidding. We are out there bidding and buying money weekly for our clients like you, but I thought it was important to explain exactly how this worked and how are we able to get people at this 4.75 money, or sometimes down to 4.25 now. This is the difference of how we do it.
Yeah, I mean, this has now become the most important part of the investment strategy.
Yeah.
And these rates, these rates are unbelievable. When you look at how much the rates are going to have to come down,
Yeah.
before they get to this, to what we're able to offer today, I mean, it's significant. I mean,
it's a huge jump in time.
yeah, I mean, we may never see this 4.25 for an investment loan again. I mean, it's possible, but it's going to be a while until we see that, if we see it, and we're able to offer it today.
Yeah, yeah. So this is important. We are always trying to make the most effective moves, not only for you guys, but for our business, because we have to be able to grow and survive and prosper just alongside of you. But if we're not getting you into those better areas, new construction, with cash flow off the bat, which really the interest rates, it's not the pricing of the home, it really is the out of whack interest rates that the Fed is now admitting to. And so if we can speed up that correction process with you with our in-house financing, we're giving you an unfair advantage for building your own portfolio in a way. Again, people always joke to us and say, gosh, if I had only locked in before June of 2022, this is giving that option. So please talk to your property counselors about the 4.7. Again, it's 4.75 is our most popular. Some people are buying it down to 4.25. Again, we pay most of those costs. If you want to go down, to those lower, closer to 4%, you'll have to pay something. But again, the fact we're able to lock you in the 4s right now, a lot of people didn't believe us. They thought it was. We've even had mortgage friends calling and saying, I think you had a misprint, but we don't. So we're excited to continue to share this program with you. It is really a game changer. Take advantage, ask questions. We're here for you, and we'll look forward to doing another update with you if anything changes. So take care, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everybody.